All right. So I see we're getting in on here. What's going on, gang? Today, I have a good webinar for you. Um, we're going to be talking about nutrition, a couple of different topics. I've wrote out, about 12 episodes of different topics to talk about with nutrition, and I wanted to share this first episode and wanted to go live. This is something I've been wanting to do for a long time, but once again, things get in the way and we make excuses for why we don't do the things that we say that we're going to do. So, before starting off today, I wanted to share a quick story. Some of you might have heard this one before, but this one was a really, really big one for me. And it was the story of Walt Disney. So, a lot of us know of Walt Disney and Disneyland, Disney World, and all the movies that he's produced and has put out there. But the road for Walt Disney to become successful was actually a very, very difficult path for him to overcome a lot of obstacles. And I think we share this same thing in life, that there's always something that gets in the way of our dreams. There's always something that's there to stop us. And I like to think of obstacles as, they're tests to see how bad do you want something. So most people don't know a couple of things people don't know about Walt Disney is that he was actually a failure and he went bankrupt. When he first started, he was working for a newspaper, and he was actually fired as the news editor because he had a lack of imagination. So it was pretty interesting to say that here's Walt Disney. Everybody knows Walt Disney, this great this guy who's got this great imagination, was actually fired from his first job because he had a lack of imagination. Uh, he was turned down 302 times for his ideas on building the Disney brand and going forward. So think about that. How many times have you been rejected in a dream that maybe you were looking for a good way in, and it didn't happen for like 3 weeks. You weren't seeing what you were actually wanting to see. Now imagine that 302 times, and this guy still went on to do amazing things. At the age of 16, he actually went for the military, but he was rejected from the military, right? Because they said he was too young. So he actually ended up sneaking on and becoming an EMS driver so that he could still be part of the war. It was something his brothers had done, and he really wanted to be a part of it. But because of his age, he had to lie his way into a profession. All right, at the age of 22, he created a company called Laugh-O-Grams, which this company went bankrupt. And then later, he found success with a character called Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. And he was later pushed out of that company by his partners, and they actually took away all the rights to that character. So it was something that he actually created, but the company pushed him out. They no longer needed him, and they went forward with his character that he created. Later on, his mother had died of carbon monoxide poisoning in the house that he had actually built. Him and his brothers moved out to Los Angeles to start over, start a new life, and they built this house. And there was problems with the foundation and how they put it together, and it ended up being something very catastrophic for their family. Their mother died in the house that they had built for her to survive in. So more and more failures. Snow White, uh, it was projected to fail. It was supposed to be a complete and utter bounce. Like no one was supposed to like this at all. And this is when he started to rise, because he went on to do $8 million when he actually went through. When it first dropped, it did $8 million, and later on, now today, they've done $130 million on this idea. So it's kind of crazy to see that people are going to doubt you. People are going to tell you the things that you can't do. But if you keep on pushing, you keep on following after your dream, things are going to continue to happen for you. You got to have that will. You got to have that want. You got to have that desire. And hey, now today, $130 million. All right, real quick, guys. Hey, 1940, he had an idea for an amusement park, and this was actually after he had the company going. The idea for the amusement park was for his employees to actually go to this amusement park And what they would do is they would actually be there for rest with their family, to be able to have a good time, to spend some time with their family, unwind from work. And then this idea later opened in 1955 when he announced it, and it became Disney World, Disneyland that we know of today. So in the beginning, it was just an idea of something small, and it just trickled, and today what we know of as Disney World. And hey, luckily in 2 months I'll be going to Changing the Game Fitness Business Summit with our coach Courtney, which this year is actually in Orlando. So I plan on visiting Disney a little bit and maybe getting one of those huge turkey legs that I had when I was back in high school. So 1932 to 1969, Walt Disney won 22 Academy Awards. It was nominated 59 times. And originally he started off in debt, and now the profits for Disney are over billions and billions of dollars each year. So the moral of this story, guys, is no matter what you're trying to accomplish, no matter what goal, it's never too big, all right? And there's nothing that's ever impossible. The key is having strategies. So today we're going to go over a couple of the strategies that are going to help you become successful in everything that you're trying to do with nutrition. And at the end, we're going to open it up for some questions that can kind of help give you some guidance, give you some structure. If there's something I didn't really cover in this, we're trying to keep in these relatively short and packed full of information. So with all that being said, I'm going to enable the chat box. All right, so can somebody type in that you're hearing me, everything's fine, before I go ahead and start with the PowerPoint here? Now I could be messing this up again. Last time I did this, I know I did mess up on the chat box. Okay, all right. I got some people writing in. Good stuff. All right, so we're going to go ahead and go to screen share. We're going to get rid of my mug. We're going to bring up PowerPoint here. All right, so you should be able to see my PowerPoint now. So if you're able to see this PowerPoint, guys, just go ahead real quick and type in again. I know I just switched off, so you're probably seeing me look at the text box here. And I've been known for not being the most tech-savvy guy out there. All right, so I'm assuming we're good. If we're not good, I see Drew is on the call. So Drew, your job is going to be to send me a message on Facebook or a text and let me know that you can't see my PowerPoint. But I'm going to go ahead, guys. And hey, this is Impact Your Nutrition. This is our first episode. We have a series of 12 that we've put together, and the goal is to come out every other week with a new one live for you to tune into and get information, as well as a question and answer after. So during this episode, all right, we're gonna have top three. The top three questions for this one is: how many meals per day should you be eating? How much protein do you actually need? And is breakfast the most important meal of the day? So the first one, guys, how many meals per day should you be eating? Now, a lot of people you've probably heard in order to lose weight or maybe build muscle that they tell you that you need to eat 6 meals a day, right? Some people have said, oh, you need to eat 3 meals a day. Then you've heard the intermittent fasting crew that eats 2 meals a day. They eat a lunch and they eat a dinner, right? Then they eat a big meal or a small meal. Basically, guys, there's so much information out there. Everybody's telling you what you should be doing. Here's my suggestion. Your life is structured in a manner that works for you. So your nutrition in the same manner should work for you. All right. If you're working out in the morning at like 6 a.m., it's going to be very, very difficult to eat a breakfast before that workout. Right. And then after that workout, some people don't really feel like they want to eat breakfast. So their first meal of the day might be a protein shake post workout. And then later on, they may eat a smaller breakfast because they're not as full. And then they might have a snack and then a bigger lunch. So, really, my suggestion, guys, is shoot for 3 to 4 meals per day because there's no real correct answer. You just have to look at it as what does my day consist of? Um, how often do I get a chance to eat? You know, are you working in the office? Are you running around doing errands in the morning? I know, Kelly, you're a teacher, right? So sometimes our meals aren't very, they're not very predictable. Some of us, one day might be different than the other day. So I would suggest 3 to 4 meals per day. All right. And we want those meals being complete meals. And what I mean by complete meals is you want to have grains, right? You want to have vegetables, plenty of colorful vegetables like you see on the picture, right? Carrots, tomatoes, peppers, mushrooms, onions. Get a whole array of all these vegetables that hold these micronutrients in each day, right? A small amount of carbs depending on your body type. Now that's a big thing. Some of our meals are going to be different than others because our body type is different. Those who tend to be more of an endomorph, who put on weight relatively easy, it's very difficult for you to lose weight. You might go lighter with grains. So with your meals, you're going to have just a little bit of carbs at each plate, right? So if you're having breakfast, you might be eating more eggs and bacon style breakfast, while somebody who's more of an ectomorph who doesn't put on weight easily is probably going to be pounding carbs trying to increase their body mass. So they might be eating protein powered oatmeal in the morning, followed by some lean meat and a bunch of quinoa and rice. So when I say complete meal, it's complete meal to your body type. So don't think that when you look at like my plate and there's a huge serving of protein, there's a huge serving of grains, and there's no fat. That's like the newest thing. People are going no fat with their meals when actually having fat in your meals is really, really helpful to keep you satisfied, to keep you feeling full, but also to lubricate the joints and to help fight with inflammation. So good healthy fats in your meal each time, right? That's a complete meal. And that can be extra virgin olive oil. It could be like MCT oil, cooking your food in coconut oil. These things are really, really going to help you if you're putting 3 to 4 meals a day, getting all of your macronutrients in, so that way you can hit your totals and not go over your caloric balance for the day. Also, another suggestion is to add in some healthy snacks. I know one of my go-to snacks, I love using peppers and hummus. Now, it's something that's satisfying. It's good. It's a good source of, protein. It's a good source of vegetables, and it's not crazy. It's not giving me that high insulin spike to where I feel a little bit tired after, like a sandwich or anything like that would make me feel. So, also a protein shake, a fruit smoothie with Greek yogurt, even Greek yogurt with a little bit of protein is also beneficial. So these are just a couple things that you could add in, like healthy snacks in between. So if you are a 3 meal a day person, you might be eating 2 to 3 snacks throughout the day to satisfy your hunger. Just make sure that you're keeping accountable for them and keeping a tally and figure out what works best and what meals do you enjoy. Now, for the best results, guys, I suggest that you schedule your meals and set reminders. Now, I was always infamous for this. People couldn't believe that I would forget to eat. And what would happen is I would get to work early, I would train all morning and deal with clients, and then I would do a bunch of back end stuff. And before I knew it, I was, pretty much at 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, and I had forgot to eat. So then I would eat a big lunch, and then I would be back on the floor training. And then when I would come home, I would eat dinner really, really late. So I was doing about 2 meals a day, and it was causing me to fall out of balance. I wasn't getting energy. I wasn't having that much productivity at work. Wasn't that energetic. And what I did was I would drink coffee and forget that I was hungry, because black coffee acts as an appetite suppressor. So sometimes I would forget to eat. And what I started doing to help me, not only as a coach, as a business owner, but as just a regular individual looking to regulate their lifestyle a little bit, I started scheduling my days a little bit better, where I would actually write it down on paper, and there would be periods where I wake up and I'm going to eat breakfast, and then on certain days I'm going to eat a certain type of breakfast depending on whether I have amount of time, whether I'm training that day, right? And then I would have some snacks like some trail mix, some healthy trail mix. It's one of my go-tos because you can take in a lot of calories. Now, if you're trying to lose weight, doesn't really help you to eat a whole bunch of trail mix, but for me, it's a way to sneak in, a bunch of calories throughout the day when I won't be able to get a break for a meal. But then I would set reminders for like 11:30 or 12 o'clock. Hey, Chris, make sure you go get a lunch. And this kind of helped me stay on track and not skip my meals, because my goal was to put on muscle mass, right? To be healthy, be fit. And in order to do so, my nutrition had to be tight. So the more hectic my life got and the more spaced out my meals got, that's when my results really suffered the most. So just an easy tip for you guys: if you have an iPhone, anything like that, set an alarm, write it down on paper, have a planner, do something structured as much as possible, because the more structure you have, the better, right? If you know exactly what you're going to have for lunch and dinner and for breakfast the day before, you are winning. You are winning the game, you're winning the battle, and you're not going to have as many slip-ups. It's when you don't know what's coming up next. It's when you're winging it and trying to just throw any meal together at the last second. That's when we usually struggle the most. That's when you're going to fall off track. And as soon as you eat one of those trigger foods, it's going to cause you to go in a downward spiral. And that's what you want to try to avoid. So set reminders, schedule your meals, schedule your workouts, guys, and you will see that just being on a strict schedule, you think you're taking away some of your freedom, but you're actually enhancing the quality of your life. You're enhancing how much actual freedom you really, truly have. So the next big question that I get is, how much protein do you actually need? Now, there's so many different, like, just like on the other one, there's so much information out there, guys. Like, don't get too crazy on this one. I just want you to really basically think about this. And most people don't even use like the measurements unless you are training for specific goals. Like, I want to put on this amount of muscle in this amount of time. And because you're an athlete or something like that, the general population really does not have to worry about exact numbers. But I did put some down for you. So the biggest thing is, when you have 3 meals a day, or you're having 4 meals a day, if you just follow the plan of having, a fist, like a palm size serving of protein, a fist size serving of vegetables, and a thumb size serving of fat, and that's for women. Now for guys, usually you want to double that. So 2 palms of protein, 2 fists of vegetables, and 2 thumbs of fat. If you're going by that, you're going to have a little bit of easier time eating when you're on the go. If you're out and maybe you can't prepare all your meals, it's always good to have a nice standard to go by, so that way you can control your portions and not be taking in too many calories. All right. So the biggest one here is protein for women trying to maintain muscle. They say about 0.8 grams per pound is needed. And now this is for somebody who's not really that active. So if you're active, usually, you're going to be closer to 1 even or 1.2. And this is grams per kilogram of body weight. So as you see on the bottom of this, what you do is you take your weight in pounds, you divide it by 2.205, and then you multiply that by 0.8 grams, and that's going to give you how many grams you should be having. So I know, Kelly, you got that math. You've probably figured out that in your head already, because I know how good you are at math. One of my not one of my strong suits. Right. So men trying to maintain muscle a little bit higher, you just have more mass and it's a little bit more demanding on your body to go throughout the regular day. So, but most people are looking to lose body fat. And in order to lose body fat, you need to be building lean muscle. If you're building lean muscle, you're raising your metabolic rate, which is going to basically mean that you burn more calories sitting on the couch watching TV than you did a month ago if you put on 5 pounds of muscle. It's that simple, guys, and some parts of fat loss, weight loss, it is that easy. There's a lot of things that they like to try and make it seem like it's difficult, but if you focus on building lean muscle, and you're going to burn more calories in the long run. So you're not going to see the fat loss. You're not going to see the scale move like you want to using this methodology, right? A lot of people will get obsessed by the number. I tell you not to get obsessed by the number because it doesn't tell you a lot of things that are going on in your body. So if you think about, if you're thinking about putting on lean muscle, you're going to do a lot better. The PowerPoint isn't up. It's only your view of the chat box. Is that going on right now, Drew? All right. So apparently my apparently my PowerPoint's not working on this medium, but I can send this PowerPoint to you guys via email. It's no problem. So bear with me. So those numbers, if you have a pen, right? Women looking to build muscle, it's going to be 1.3 to 1.5 grams per kilogram, and that's protein per day. And then men looking to build muscle, it's 1.5 to 1.8 grams per kilogram of body weight. So an example I put down here at the bottom, a 150-pound woman would need to take in 88 grams to 102 grams each day in order to build muscle. All right, so that's really, really simple. Really, really easy number to hit. If you're eating 3 meals a day, to give you an idea, a chicken breast, you're looking at 30 to 35 grams of protein. So if you had a serving of chicken breast 3 times a day, you hit your protein total, right? It's not that hard. And there's a lot of people out there that aren't looking to take in a lot of meat products. So there's also, you can take in whey protein as a shake, right? You can take in hemp protein, which is also very, very high quality protein. It's very, very good for you. And that is going to be more for an individual not really trying to take in meat, more of a vegetarian or a vegan lifestyle, right? There's quinoa has a lot of protein in it. You can go Greek yogurt. I actually have a list coming up here with protein-rich food, so make sure you have a pen ready. 200-pound man would need 136 to 163 grams of protein each day to build muscle. So as much as people are putting it out there that you need to be taking in a huge amount of protein, I think there's this misconception that in order to put on muscle, you need to be taking like 200 grams of protein each day, which is kind of high. You don't actually need that much. And there's a lot of people that are out there arguing that you don't even really need as much protein as I'm saying. But in the past, I've been watching people's body fat. We monitor it, and we can see how much protein they're taking in their daily diet. and then we look at how much we prescribe for them, and if they're losing muscle, it's just telling you that they're in waste mode. So it's easy to waste protein or muscle wasting, which is when you do too much high intensity training and not enough strength work, and you're not getting enough protein. So the cortisol is present and it breaks down protein in the muscle, or protein in the body, which is stored in in the skeletal muscle. So very, very important, guys. Get your protein in. It's better to be safe than sorry. You don't want to be losing muscle as well as fat, because that's another thing. People get on the scale and they see that they have lost weight, but really they've only lost like muscle. Usually is what happens. So let me back out of this. Drew said you can't see my PowerPoint, and I'm gonna try and fix that. Let's see if I can fix that for you, Drew. Alright, so I don't think that's going to work either. Alright, so sorry about the PowerPoint, guys, and like I said, I'll make sure that I send that to you at the end. And we'll get to some question and answer once we're through this part. So if you've got a pen ready, pen and pad, this is going to be really, really important for you to take down. It's a list of proteins, my top healthy protein choices. All right, so the first one, and usually I like to go at least 92 and above, right? 92 and above, extra lean ground beef. All right, now if you want to go even to another extent, organic or grass-fed beef is so much better for you. Not only is the quality and the taste better, but it actually, you will feel a huge difference in your body, and that is something that you truly want to stick to. Once you get going with extra lean or fast-bred grass-fed beef, you will not want to go back to the regular stuff. So, hit that up. You can get that at like a healthy, more of the high. I mean, yeah, it's a little bit higher end. You're gonna get that at like a Wegmans or Whole Foods, or what Sharon likes to call whole paycheck. All right, but if you have a little bit of extra disposable income, or you're having a special occasion and you would like to have like a nice burger with great meat, or maybe like if you're making just anything with ground beef, like go ahead and try out that grass fed. And the reason why is because when it's grass-fed, guys, they're higher in omega-3 fats. So you really want to get in more omega-3 fats, and eating grass-fed meat and grass-fed eggs, you're actually going to get that omega-3 fat in your diet that you normally wouldn't be getting. All right? That goes the same for salmon. Salmon is a great fatty fish full of omega-3s, but you have to get the wild caught. You don't want to get the farm raised, so it's not as high in omega-3 fats. So we have extra lean ground beef, chicken, turkey. Now, turkey, I like to do ground turkey a lot. Like we do ground turkey all the time. Sometimes we replace that, and then I'll mix in some ground beef every once in a while. I kind of alternate. Ground turkey keeps it lean, and if you're on when you're doing our cleanse, our 7-day nutritional cleanse, we actually tell you to do turkey because it's a little bit lower in fat, and we do kind of decrease almost everything. Start off and get you burning burning body fat. So ground turkey is a great lean meat, right? As well as bison. Now, that's if you're into game. Not many people that I know are really eating bison on a regular day, but hey, if you have access to it, it's a great lean meat as well. So we said salmon already. Cod is another one. Tuna. So, tuna, you don't want to think about tuna tuna in a can is good and all, but let's eat more things out of a can. So if you're going to go with tuna, let's go with like actual tuna you can get at the store, as far as like in the seafood section. Now, if you're making salads for lunch and you're tired of eating chicken, right, and you want to use tuna, then by all means go ahead, use that, make a tuna salad. Mix it up with some avocado, right? Replace the mayonnaise with things like avocado, Greek yogurt, stuff like that. Eggs are a big one. And hey, this one, especially, a lot of people go with egg whites, right? Egg whites, yeah, they can help you out if you're like really decreasing your calories, but basically egg whites is like it's a useless food. There's not really much nutrition value in egg whites. So unless you have a recipe that calls for egg whites, you're eating like a Mediterranean egg white omelet or something like that, something crazy. Like just eat the whole egg, right? Women eat 2, guys eat 3 to 4. Like you don't have to get crazy with the science behind eggs, but it's got a lot of vitamins, B12, folic acid, things like that that can really help your body, right? And if you can get the cage-free omega-3 enriched eggs, even better because they're a lot better for you. So really look for those, right? We want to try and get omega-3 fats in as much as possible, and there's a couple proteins that you can put in your regular daily intake that will help you get those omega-3s, right? So eggs and grass-fed beef is a really, really good way, and so is salmon. So really, hey, if you're gonna eat 3 things, you eat some eggs in the morning, have some lean ground beef for lunch on a salad, and have some salmon for dinner. There you go. You got your omega-3s in, right? And you've gotten your protein. So going down the list some more, a little bit of dairy, cottage cheese, right, is a really good snack. Um, Wawa has those cottage cheese cups with the fruit. Now, I used to like live off of these for snacks, but I'm pretty sure that's not real crushed fruit. I'm sure it's processed somehow, some way, but it was really, really good. And it was something I would grab on the go. But I recommend if you're going to do cottage cheese with fruit, try and make your own fruit, mash up some berries or something like that. Try and stay away from all this processed stuff that's out there for you. It's not really good for you, and it really just builds inflammation in the body. Another one, Greek yogurt. All right, Greek yogurt. Now, this is another one that the industry has ruined. Someone high up found out that Greek yogurt was good for you, so they realized that they needed to have a product out there that people could buy. So when everyone was in the store looking for Greek yogurt, they come across like Chobani, or I don't even know how you say it, Chobani, and it's like, oh, well, this is Greek yogurt, and Greek yogurt is healthy for you, so I'm going to eat this. Except it's like strawberry Chobani Greek yogurt, and they've got like fruits and oats and crap in it, and it ends up being like 17 to 25 grams of sugar and carbs packed into this Greek yogurt. So here's this healthy food for you that they just literally ruined by putting a bunch of crap in there. So I always go with the phage, right? The phage with the fat, like 2%, or whole. I like getting fat in my diet. I add in some protein, a half a scoop of whey protein. So I'll use like the strawberry that we sell in our gym. I'll throw in like a half a scoop, and then I'll throw in some nuts, or if I do want to add in a little bit of granola, I go out and I search for like a very low sugar granola, like something. If I want that crunch, if I want something like that, I will go out there and get it and put it into my Greek yogurt as a snack. Throw in some cut up strawberries, some blueberries, and you can really turn that Greek yogurt into something really delicious for yourself. And it's not that difficult, guys. Like, do you have some berries cleaned off in the fridge, and you have some sliced up almonds that you can just drop in there? You take a half a scoop of protein, you got a snack literally within 3 minutes. It doesn't take time, and it's a lot better for you. All right, going down the list some more. Hey, beans. I feel like beans are probably the most underutilized protein-rich nutrient that you could get in. So many people do not eat beans, right? And that's black beans, pinto beans, right? Navy beans. I know my mom made one time. They were so good, right? Beans are an awesome way to get fiber into your diet, keep you feeling full, get protein in without having to load up on a lot of meat. Like sometimes you might even want to go vegetarian for a day just to kind of wean off of the meat a little bit. And beans are a great way to get that in the diet, guys. There's a lot of fiber in those, and they really are tasty if you cook them right. All right. Peas, right? Peas are also really, really good. I know Healthy Garden around our gym has an awesome split pea soup. I don't know how the hell they make it, but it is really one of the best things. That and a black bean soup. So if you ever want a good soup, right, go to Healthy Garden. Right, and they're not paying me to plug them right now, but go check them out. It's an awesome restaurant with a lot of healthy food. But once again, hey, watch portion sizes. Watch how much you're taking in. Legumes, another one. Legumes are awesome. Cook them in a pot. Make a big old pot of them. Add them to your meals. You can't get enough legumes, beans, and peas, guys. Like this should be. You should be cooking up a batch of this every single week and using them throughout the week. Some more tofu and tempeh. I've never had the tempeh, but I put it on the list because there's some vegetarians out there. I'm not really too knowledgeable on that one. I will not lie. Tofu. Now I do love some miso soup, but I don't really go too big on tofu. But there's a lot of people that are, like I said, vegetarians that are looking to get protein in their diet. So hey, there's a great way to get it. And there's another restaurant I go to, Akira. They have tofu in their miso soup, and I love it. All right, so whey protein, right? You want to get 100% whey isolate. It's very, very easy supplement to get your protein in for the day. Hey, you take a whey protein shake at the end of your workout, right? You eat breakfast, you eat lunch, and you eat dinner. Boom, you've hit your protein totals for the day. Guys, it's not a complicated science. It really just comes down to having a plan and executing your plan. Right, and then another one that I've actually been experimenting with is the hemp protein from Onnit, and I can give you guys the information of Onnit. They have a great hemp force protein. Literally, there's only like 3 ingredients in it. It's like coca, hemp seeds, and like just one other thing. It's a very, very pure product. And if anyone knows me, I'm pretty much as holistic as it comes, minus my obsession with gummy lifesavers when I go on my binge. Right, so hey, the last question, guys, is breakfast the most important meal of the day? As you can see, oh, sorry, you don't see my PowerPoint, but I say no. Breakfast is not the most important meal of the day, and the main reason why is because my most important meal of the day for you is your post-workout meal, right? So a lot of people put all this emphasis on waking up and having a solid breakfast to go throughout the day. Yes, I do believe eating a good breakfast, giving yourself some energy, and giving yourself the ability to, move, right, and not be sluggish throughout the day is important. To be able to, think and have cognitive function is important, and that does start with eating breakfast. I will not deny that, but I think that the most important meal of the day is your post-workout meal, and here's why. This is when your body is the most, I guess you could say, starved for nutrients, right? As soon as you're breaking down, you put your body into that recovery state, your insulin sensitivity is higher, which means that your body will then take in nutrients. You're more glucose or glycogen depleted, meaning that your blood sugar is low and it needs to be taken back up. But the thing is, you're going to restore your muscle glycogen stores when you're eating carbs post-workout. It's not going to make you store body fat, and you're going to be able to tolerate carbohydrates, which a lot of people don't tolerate carbohydrates well. After your workout, you will. So nutrient timing, eating your carbohydrates around your workouts, but most importantly, after your workout, is really going to help you build muscle, build lean muscle, and be able to get those carbs in throughout the day and not store it as fat, not feel sluggish, not have some of the side effects that eating carbs usually has, right? And the thermic effect on food after your workout. So your metabolism is revving, you're up there, right? And so what happens is when your metabolism revving after your workout and you go and you eat a meal, you're going to burn more calories digesting that food, breaking down that food. So say your meal is like 325 calories and you're eating it post-workout and you're eating the right foods, number one, you're only going to take in about 275 to 290 of those calories. So you get it's like a surplus. You're eating food, but you're not getting all of the negative, like, oh, my calories are going to be lower actually for the day because of the thermic effect on food. So, like, that's a trick. Like, when you put, like, your calorie total for, like, I don't know, 2,000 calories for the day, but yet you're working out and you're eating post-workout meals, you're actually going to fall under your caloric intake. Now, at the same time, if you're doing your grams, like if you're doing your macronutrients and you're talking about like carbohydrates, right? There's a thing called net carbs, which is basically the dietary fiber that's in a food that, say you're taking in like quinoa, for instance, and it's like 32 grams of carbs, but it has like 5 grams of dietary fiber. Now you're only taking in about 27 grams of those carbs. So there's these little tricks that we can play when it comes to programming your nutrition that are going to help you, as far as if you just say, I'm going to eat this and this is my plan, you're going to still lose more weight at a rapid pace because we've put in little teeny determining factors that will help you still shave some of those calories. So it's almost like you leave your house late to get to a meeting in North Jersey, but yet you get to 295 and you drive 7 miles over the speed limit the entire time, and you see that GPS say to your time of your your arrival time, you'll see it drop. You're shaving time off of that road trip. Well, that's the same thing that's happening with your calories each day. Is you're shaving time off of your goal. So you may have put your calories in on the MyFitnessPal, and it says this is how long it's going to be for you to lose, 5 pounds. It's going to take you 10, to lose 10 pounds, it's going to take you 30 days. Well, you could see somebody lose 15 pounds in that 30 days if you follow the rules of thermic effect on food, if you're really eating your carbs only around workout time, right? If you're increasing your fat intake and you're having the grass-fed beef, your omega-3s and your eggs, like, these are little tricks that we've picked up along the way. This is what's going on in the industry with some of the best, but not a lot of that information is getting out there, and really we're being clouded by a lot of like the WebMDs or the Dr. Oz's on TV, and they're giving us their information, and it's not really for the people that really want to have an active lifestyle, workout, and train with weights to look lean, to feel strong, and to improve the quality of life and decrease the risk of injury throughout aging, right? So a lot of the information that's out there, guys, isn't necessarily the best information for you and what you enjoy to do. All right, so we just went through power, a good 40, what was that, about 40 minutes there of content. So what I want to do is I want to open up for some questions. All right, so I see Sharon already. All right, Adam loves bison. Jelly, where did jelly come from, Sharon? I don't know what jelly is about. And then chia seeds and flax seeds. So yes, chia seeds and flaxseed is another way to get in some good fats. Now there's omega-6s, omega-9s, omega-3s, and they fall into different categories. So yes, implementing chia seeds and flax seeds can help you, but really don't get overwhelmed with it, right? Just pick some stuff that's going to work for you. And if you have access to chia seeds, or you have some recipes that you like chia seeds, then go ahead and try them. But a flaxseed oil or MCT oil or a krill oil supplement will really be beneficial and kind of help you out. All right, so let's go ahead and ask some more questions. Let's fire them up in here, gang. Many screens, yeah, so I apologize for the technical difficulty here. Google kind of changed the format on how my web browser is shown, so it's not like the last time I was on here. Jelly is the fruit in the cottage cheese. Yes, it is jelly, and it is terrible. It is very, very bad, but, when you live on the run and you're going to Wawa and you're living without a plan, those are the kind of things that you end up taking in. So probably a lot of fructose syrup in that. right. Not seeing any questions popping up. I hope you guys are typing them in. In the meantime, I like to have a little fun on these. Are you considering sweet potato as a good carb? Excellent question. So yes, sweet potatoes. I don't know if you've been in the if you're in the gym during deadlift day. You've heard me say it a million times. Add some chalk and some chalk and sweet potatoes, and boom, you've gotten yourself 5 pounds on your deadlift. But one of the real questions is, yes, sweet potatoes is really, really good for you. It's a great carb to have in, right? It doesn't create a high insulin spike. And even a lot of people are scared of butter. I add butter to it. Butter is a great way to add fat in your diet if you are an endomorph where you're not taking as many carbs and you need to get in more fat as your main energy source, right? It's good to have sweet potatoes with butter, just a little bit, and throw on some cinnamon, make it more enjoyable. Now, for you, I would recommend a half a sweet potato. Guys can go full sweet potato, but half a sweet potato is usually good. And once you hit your goals, you can tweak that. You can always tweak it. If you feel like you want to eat a whole sweet potato and you're still losing body fat, then go ahead and stick with that, right? Nutrition is about guessing, right? There's guesswork all throughout it, and what happens is you're going to do something and then you're going to test it, right? So if you're measuring, you can manage. So if you're getting on a scale every 2.5 weeks, body fat analyzer, and you're eating sweet potatoes for 2 weeks, and you see that you're losing body fat, sweet potatoes aren't hurting you, right? What may be hurting somebody is eating a bunch of popcorn, watching Lifetime, the Lifetime channel, right? So stay away from cheeseburgers and McDonald's, stuff like that. And, sweet potato is not going to be the biggest culprit in body fat loss. Hydration, workout versus non-workout days. All right, good question, Kel. So a lot of people do change. Now, I've heard a lot of people change their calorie intake. Like they'll go 15% more on workout days and 15% less on non-workout days. I've really never really heard of a person really just, because so many people try so hard just to get a certain amount of water in each day. Now, what you do have to remember, especially if you're an excessive sweater, like you're going to lose body weight. I mean, you're going to lose body fluid. So putting it back in. So if you're sweating during your training sessions, and think about muscle is about 72% water, like you do have to get that water back in. So it might help to get in like another, maybe like another liter of water on workout days, especially post-workout and prior to your workouts. You definitely want to hydrate more for your workout. So yes, you definitely want to drink more water when you're working out. Now, if you're a person that struggles getting your water in each day, then I wouldn't put an emphasis on it that much. I would just put an emphasis on trying to hit your total, because usually if you're not getting enough water, you're going to be dehydrated, you're going to feel hungry, and you're going to have more cravings for bad food. So if you're one of the people out there that don't drink enough water, first thing you need to think about is just drinking more water in general. And then if you are hitting your water numbers, then yes, I would recommend drinking more water on a workout day. And there's also some recipes out there for like low sugar athletic sports drinks that people make, where they put like lemon, a little bit of salt, and some syrup or something like in there. They get crazy with it. Now I'll just go to Gatorade. Gatorade's a really good way to get some carbohydrates, electrolytes back in your system, but for most people, they're trying to stay away from the sugars, so just adding more water will help you. Are you still in the thought of 3 fruit and 3 veggies per day? Fruit is a tricky one, all right? No one's ever gotten obese or overweight because they ate too much fruit, right? Now, if you're going to have food, like you're going to have veggies, like I recommend eating veggies at every single meal. So if you're eating 4 meals a day, you're going to have veggies at 4 meals throughout the day. eating a little bit of fruit, like if you're putting berries in your shake, right? Say if you're having strawberries and blueberries in the morning in a shake, and then maybe a grapefruit or an apple as one of your snacks, I think there's nothing wrong with that. I don't think there's a number that you should say, like, oh, I have to eat, right? More laws, like more rules that you stick on your nutrition, the less compliant you're going to be. So it really comes down to it. Hey, I want a snack, and I open up my refrigerator and I see this healthy apple next to a Diet Coke. Like, go with the apple. I'd rather see you, kind of suppress a sugar fix, or if you're feeling like you need some carbs or something like that. Like, I'd rather see you eat a natural fruit versus, a highly processed product. So that is a big one that I like to say, that there's no limit on. You shouldn't be eating a ton of fruit. I look at 4 to 5 servings of vegetables, maybe 2 to 3 servings of fruit throughout the day. Now, athletes, right? Athletes are probably going to be on a different one. So once again, your body type, manage your sugars, see how many sugars, try and keep your sugars low. So fruit is going to have more sugar than vegetables, obviously. I love these. So while I'm waiting on the next question, see if I can pull up some effects here. Always got this goatee here. Gotta love this. Caffeine. All right, so caffeine. Big question here. Caffeine as a aid for training, it has its benefits. Um, as far as like your workouts will actually be better with caffeine. I've heard a lot of good things about having caffeine before training to enhance your workout, enhance your energy. Sorry, I can't get rid of this goofy beard here. So we're just gonna rock with it. So having caffeine before your workouts is going to be good for you. Throughout the day, I don't really see a need of caffeine if you're taking good supplements. So what I mean by good supplements is today, this is my first day on Shroom Tech and Alpha Brain from Onnit, and I saw right away. I'm usually like a 3 to 4 cup of coffee kind of guy, and I didn't need that much coffee today. I took the Alpha Brain, and my mental focus, my energy levels were just, at a point where I'd never seen them before. It was just clean energy. I felt good, and basically caffeine. You don't want to really get attached to caffeine, is what I'm trying to say. Caffeine does have its benefits, but too much caffeine, you end up not really needing it, right? You don't have this dependency on caffeine anymore. You need, like, it's like you can't start your day without a cup of coffee, and then the coffee that you're starting the day with doesn't even have an effect anymore. Like or you drink 3 cups of coffee, and instead of feeling more energized, you actually get more tired, right? I've had that happen a lot of times. So weaning yourself off of caffeine is beneficial. Using the Alpha Brain from Onnit is a great way if you're feeling low on energy, right? Low energy. So next one, healthy cereal versus oatmeal. All right, so that's another one, right? There's no such thing as healthy cereal. They've put this out there, right? That like Raisin Bran is better for you than Apple Puffs, right? But really, it's a bunch of carbs in a box. And my thing is, I don't really eat a lot of carbs. I don't eat a lot of things that come out of boxes. Now, oatmeal, there's a rule that I like to go with. Breakfast is served hot. So you want to think about eating hot foods for breakfast. And one I saw at a Tippin on its last magazine was supplementing, like if you don't want cereal, right, going with like an almond milk and like nuts, like, you know, cut up walnuts or almonds or something like that instead of eating cereal. I'm not a big fan on cereal, but hey, if you're a cereal fanatic like I used to be, you know, Captain Crunch was my thing that I love to go with, right? Then have that cereal like on a Saturday as a cheat meal, right? If you've been decreasing your carbohydrates throughout the week, you'll be insulin sensitive, and it won't have that bad of an effect if you do like a workout after it. You know, if you're eating cereal when you wake up and you go to work out, burn calories, and then, or you're going doing your workout, coming home, eating cereal, not really going to have that big of a deal. But for people that are doing it on a daily basis, I would like to see their carbohydrate intake. I just like to try and cut back on processed carbohydrates. So cereal, no matter if they say healthy or they're marketed as a healthy brand, usually, you know, it's processed food. So eating a diet that's minimally processed is the key. So oatmeal is going to be a better choice in that stance because it's just more, it's closer to the original state of that plant. I hope that cleared that one up. Sometimes my answers aren't the best. All right, so hey, looks like I don't see any more coming in. Still here to fire 'em out. Dawn, we need to hear you, Dawn. Where you at, Dawn? You haven't chimed in. You ain't got nothing for me today, Dawn. It's got to be something. All right. Hey guys, that's gonna put us here at the limit at 6:57. I apologize for not having the PowerPoint working. I'm going to make sure that I post. If you would like the PowerPoint, how about we do this? I'm going to type in here's my email. Right. So if you would like a link, or if you would like me to send the PowerPoint to you so that you could have it. Thanks, Chris. On my way to do the 7. There we go. All right, Dawn, you have a great night. You rock that workout, girl. Right? Make sure that those slackers pick up the pace. All right, you got a good one with Coach Ryan tonight. Right, so hey, if you want that PowerPoint, gang, shoot me an email. If you have any other questions or would like to see some questions answered on an episode of Impact Your Nutrition, right, put it in there. I'm always looking for more material to kind of help out. And hey, I did see that there was somebody in here that I did not recognize. All right, Jen, I did not. So Jen, if you would like to train with us at Impact Performance and Fitness, during the thank you, I'll be sending out a thank you message after this webinar. It's gonna have a link for a free strategy session. You can come in. We have many trials. Our 21-day jumpstart. We launched that. That's ongoing every single month. We also have transformations that you can hop into. And hey, Dawn, Sharon, and Kelly Jackson, can't wait to rock this 21-day challenge with you guys, right? The coaches are going to be all changing their nutrition and getting their stuff together too as well. So we're going to be going through this as a team, and we're going to be working really hard. So, hey, thank you guys for taking time out of your day, hopping on this. Until next time, right? It's been real.